Hey everyone, welcome to another Explorer and Pioneer video here on Magic Arena. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We are on the very close approach now to 2,500 subscribers, so any support you can give is greatly appreciated. And today we are checking back in on the self-bounce deck, so the kind of Pixie decks, or the Fear of Isolation decks, or whatever you want to call them. And we have a new toy from Tarkir, which is the Sunpearl Kirin, which is a 2/1 for 1 and a white with flash and flying. When it enters, you return up to one other target non-land permanent you control to its owner's hand. If it was a token, draw a card. And this is kind of moving us from Dimir into Esper, so adding white to the deck. And there are kind of multiple different ways of building this deck. You can build it in Dimir, you can build it in Orzhov, you can build it in Esper. Being the three colours does obviously put additional pressure on the mana base, because we do reliably need to be able to hit all of our three colours pretty early on in the game. But the Sunpearl Kirin may well be worth that additional kind of complication, as it gives us a kind of critical mass of self-bounce abilities. You know, we've now got Sunpearl Kirin, we've got Fear of Isolation, we've got Nurturing Pixie, and we have This Town Ain't Big Enough, so that's 16 effects in our 80-card deck, which can bounce our ETB enchantments and creatures. So it is that kind of melee enchantments, actually. So yes, it does give us that that kind of critical mass of things that we can be doing. So yeah, many things that enable our self-bounce. And then in terms of our targets for self-bouncing, we have 4 copies of Legion's Landing, which these days it's quite funny how much worse this card is than Stormchaser's Talent. You know, that's power creep for you. But Legion's Landing is still a worthwhile target for a self-bounce. Creates a 1/1 vampire with lifelink when it enters, and when you attack with 3 or more creatures, you can transform it into a land, which does help kind of build us up to some more additional mana. Then obviously we do have our Stormchaser's Talents, creating our otters with prowess, and potentially getting back instants and sorceries later on. Hopeless Nightmare, great card for a deck like this, making the opponent discard a card and lose 2 life on its own, just as a 1 mana enchantment, kind of mid. But with the ability to just constantly return it to our hand, we can pretty quickly rip apart the opponent's hand without too much trouble, and that 2 life they lose every time is not to be sniffed at either. Then we were also running Momentum Breaker, so this is a Edict effect that fortunately is almost never dead, even if the opponent doesn't have a creature, because if they don't, they are also forced to discard a card, and that additional life gain can be pretty good as well. And then Nowhere to Run as a removal spell, along with Oath of Kaya. Again, these are both very good self-bounce targets, potentially getting lots of bits of removal off them. Does struggle, both of these can't kind of take down bigger creatures by themselves, so that is worth bearing in mind, and that's why we have cards like Momentum Breaker to help us do that. And then, being a deck running black, we are also running our Thoughtseizers and our Fatal Pushes as well, which is one of the few parts of this deck which exists outside of standard at the moment. I think this deck relies heavily on cards which are currently in standard. But yeah, no, just that additional power up that you get from having these slightly older 1 mana interaction spells, and being a Yorion deck. Surprisingly, Blink is also as good as self-bounce in a deck like this, and gives us access to 80 cards. As I say, the mana base is doing quite a lot of work here, so I won't go through it all because it's quite complicated. But yeah, we're not leaning too much on tri-coloured lands, because we do need to kind of reliably be able to cast a 1-drop on turn 1. So we just have the 1 Rafine's Tower, but we do have a lot of fast lands, a lot of pathways, and a lot of shock lands, just to make sure that our lands can come into play untapped, and then 1 of each basic land, just in case we are getting hit with Field of Ruins or things that the opponent's trying to kind of cut us off from our colours of mana. Then the sideboard, so we've got Rest in Peace, that's our Graveyard Hate of Choice, again giving, you know, this is a very white heavy sideboard. White has some really good sideboard cards, so kind of that move into Esper does give us access to some of these. So Rest in Peace, Dovin's Veto, great counter spell, particularly against things which cause this deck problems, which is things like Temporary Lockdown, Mass Removal, which hits not just creatures. Loran of the Third Path, so this is Artifact and Enchantment Removal, which again can be bounced to get additional value off. Beza is good as an anti-aggro card, again can be bounced if necessary. And then the Meathook Massacre as our mass removal spell of choice. Again, these are kind of all cards which do something when they come into play and then stick around as potential bounce targets. So you know the theme of the deck is very strong. So yeah, that is the deck. You will have seen things like this, but as I say, we have moved into 3 colours in order to play the Kirin, and we'll be interested to see how much of an impact this makes in the deck, which already had a lot of powerful kind of self-bounced cards in it. But yeah, that is the deck. So thank you very much for watching, and let's take it onto the ladder. Yes, these only producing blue for now makes our Oath of Kaya not quite as good at the moment, but this has enough good stuff going on that I don't mind that too much for the time being. So we'll start with the targeted hand disruption. Ooh, interesting. So the opponent's on some sort of like Orzhov control deck. I think I'll take the Soul Search for the time being. I think I'd rather keep the Momentum Breaker around rather than the Hopeless Nightmare, and it's a bit more mana efficient because they are going to hit us with a Soul Search next turn. Although I suppose doing it this way, it does let them have the Spirit token. But then that is a target for Oath of Kaya. It's all swings and roundabouts. Assuming they take the Nightmare. Yep. Okay. I'll hit them with another Thoughtseize. Dreams of Steel and Oil is not that good. Trespasser is reasonable. One Emperor, they're not really anywhere near casting with their mana, so although Trespasser can be killed by Oath of Kaya. Yeah, I'll just take the Emperor just for safety. Yep, there's the additional land. So I think I will use the Oath of Kaya. It'll cost us our Gloomlake Verge, but that's okay. Get that off the battlefield, gain a little bit of life to help stabilize us. Oh, nice. So yeah, this is sort of Orzhov mid-range by the look of it. Okay, that's pretty good. So the Dreams of Steel and Oil is stopping me from putting Yorion in my hand, because they'll just take it away again. Yeah, that's fine. I'll pass the turn. Don't like giving them, obviously, the extra damage with Graveyard Glutton. Now let's see what they choose to do. Okay, let's pick up Momentum Breaker and get rid of that. Okay, that's pretty good. So we'll get down a Talent, fire off the Momentum Breaker to get rid of their Glutton. That's fine. Yeah, Sunpearl Kirin, again, pretty good. So we'll just chill and pass the turn. Morning coffee is helping me concentrate. I think we've got a choice here. I think I'm going to pick up Oath of Kaya this time. Because this has left the battlefield, I'll hit their Apparition with a Fatal Push. Gives us an extra 1/1 to play with. Ooh, Storm Chaser's talent number 2. Not unhappy about that at all. Do they have the Emperor here, and do I care if they do? I'll hold back on my, yeah. Hold back with my Otter.
You started this fight, but I'm going to end it.
Fine. So just take 1, but I do have Oath of Kaya available to me. Cool, cool.
We must protect the people.
Okay, yeah, well, our draws are doing pretty good work for us here, so fire off the Hopeless Nightmare. They're desperately keeping hold of their Dreams of Steel and Oil here, which is fair enough, but I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to put urine in my hand while that's still there, so this is just a bit of a standoff. Okay, I can pick up Pixie, play Pixie rather, and pick up probably Hopeless Nightmare. Make them discard another card. Seems fine. Nope. Okay, so Orzhov Midrange. I think we're pretty well set up against, to be honest. We've got Momentum Breaker did great work there. Fatal Push is reasonable. So the Wandering Emperor, I suppose Veto does stop their Wandering Emperors. It stops their Soul Searches. Probably better on the play if we go to a game 3, just because it can stop a turn 2 Soul Search. Maybe I'll stick in a couple of Vetoes. Sub out a couple of pushes. That seems fine. It's all part of the very scientific sideboarding I do, based around maybe this will be good. Okay, so we don't currently have black mana, but that's fine. We've got enough action going on that I'm not that worried for now. Yep, so they can soul search me. They can get a 1/1 out of this if they want to take my Legion's Landing, but it's hardly the highest impact card. Nope, they want the Momentum Breaker. Oh, that's a-okay with me. Ooh, Pixie's a good draw. So we'll play that, pick up our talent. Play it again. Ooh, the value. The endless value. That's quite risky, but okay. So we'll play the island, because that will give us access to black mana next turn. Legion's Landing, double trigger prowess. Right. Really? Do you really want to be doing that? That feels rough, to be honest. I mean, they may have a mass removal spell here, but it's fine. It's really not a problem. That's a pretty low impact play. And another Pixie. Ooh, it's all happening. Oh god, this just feels so disgusting, doesn't it? And now I've got mana for Sunpearl Kirin. It's all... I mean, it's all a lot, isn't it? Yeah, okay, so they've got Sunfall, which is fair enough. So I could... yeah, do you know what? They can have their thing, but I will bounce my talent. Okay. Well, I think I'll play one, and I'll put the Yorion in my hand. That seems fine. Another Sunfall. Ha! Okay. Yeah, this lack of black mana does mean the Thoughtseize is a little bit dead in my hand, but that's alright. Okay, now I can pop this down. It's a black land. I think I'll chill on Thoughtseize and just play Yorion. Bounce my 2 talents. Blink, rather. Bounce, blink. I keep getting those two mixed up. No attacks. I can see your 6/6 there. That's bait. Okay, because it's nighttime at least, that is a fairly mid-level interaction. Alright. Yep, that was pretty straightforward. Ooh, yes. Ooh, yes. This will do very nicely. Hello, what's going on here? Acquisitions expert. Don't see that hugely often. Ooh, so now I've got a choice. I can either just Fear of Isolation, or I can do Pixie, pick up Nightmare, which I think is probably better. Just really have a go at their hand. We'll do it again. It's Zendikar Tribal. Okay, this is all a bit strange. I'll do it again. I'll keep doing it. Don't think I won't. Nope, okay. So I don't really know what the opponent's doing. So I'm not going to sideboard. No blue mana makes this not a keep. Okay, this is slightly better. That gives us blue. We can cast all of our cards. Do I want Fatal Push? I've no idea. I'll pop that back for now. Okay, so some sort of mono-black deck. Do I care if they hit my hand here? I mean, the Virus Beetle is just annoying because it makes our Momentum Breaker worse. I mean, they can take stuff from my hand, whatever they do. Yeah, I'll take the Acquisitions expert. What am I going to discard? I think I will discard this town ain't big enough for now. Okay, should have discarded Nowhere to Run. Still, you live and learn. I'll just pass the turn, see if they want to cast a Nighthawk Scavenger. Which I shall immediately know where to run. No, they don't. In which case, I'll know where to run their Virus Beetle. And don't think I won't. Yeah, it's all a bit awkward with this lack of mana, but I think we're in a reasonable place. They can kill my Fear of Isolation, but that's kind of fine. Yep. Oh, that's not going to live very long. I suppose I could. Well, we know it's got 3 toughness. I could do this all day. And looks like I'm going to have to, because... No, fine. Well, that was strange. Ooh, they're ambitious. I like it. Yeah, it's pretty good. Ooh, a Cauldron Familiar. The fun we have. So I think I'll get the talent into play. And we can have a think about our life choices. Ooh, a Steel Cutter. Don't really have any good answers to that. Well, that's scary, isn't it? Maybe if we try and, like, slow down there. What they're going to try and do. Yeah. Let's take Harvester. This at least reduces the chance of them double spelling. In fact, there's no way they can double spell because they have Shieldred in their hand, and we know that. What now, I wonder? So I could kill this. That would kind of clear the way for them dealing with Shieldred in a minute. Yeah, I think that's fine. Nowhere to run. Kill the Familiar. Attack for 2. But yeah, this is interesting. A kind of sacrifice weird hybrid thing. Yeah, sacrifice with Steel Cutter. I'm kind of into it. I mean, I'm not into it, but I'm kind of into it. Right, well, let's pick up the Nowhere to Run. Yeah, let's take down the Unlucky Witness now, just because it triggers our prowess. They will get to look at the 2 cards from this, so let's see what they're working with. Oven and Push, those are both fine. I mean, they're not fine in that they'll get to Fatal Push one of my creatures, which is sad, but within the bounds of acceptable. Play Shieldred into my Momentum Breaker. You know you want to. It's a bit weird if they got, like, village rights, because, yeah, they can't, Interesting. Okay. I don't get it, but... So I'll do the same thing again. Well, our life total's looking a little on the dicey side. Okay, finally. So yeah. We'll break some momentums. Yorion in our hands. This life gain or momentum breaker actually is probably going to come in quite handy, potentially. Ooh. Ooh, that must hurt. Nobody wants to be doing that. Yeah, I could take my Yorion. That's a shame. Yeah, I don't really want to pick up Thoughtseize. I could take the last card out of their hand, I suppose, but then I don't have an answer to anything that they play. But then leveling this up, I suppose, gets me closer to level 3, so actually I will pick it up. I'll play the Thoughtseize, because I have the life gain. Nope, it's just a land. And then sacking this will get me the life I need. Ooh, Mayhem Devil, that's pretty spicy. Okay. So they can't kill me if I use this. In response, they can sack 2 things, which isn't enough, so we'll do that. I mean, I do lose a life from sacking that, so actually they could get me to 1 this way, but I'll gain 3. Yep, get momentum breaker down. Then I go to 4. I can bring their cat back. So, go to max speed, which is good for some life gain. I'll get them to 5. I'll pass the turn. So they can start doing cat loops. Sack the momentum breaker in response. Go up to 8. Ooh, it's close. Maybe I'll stick a scry on upkeep with this nightmare. Yeah, that's pretty good. Those are both pretty low impact, aren't they? Yeah, I think I'm going to have to scry to the bottom both of those. No, that's worse. That is measurably worse. Blag. Blag. Okay, so they can do that cat loop. That'll put me to 3 at worst. It's not good, it's not good, it's not good. Oh god. Oh god, no. What a draw. Yeah. Okay. Should have kept the Legion's Landing. Right, so, Rest in Peace is obviously decent against their cat loops. Beza and Lauren are both good here. What's less good? Don't love Momentum Breaker or Legion's Landing, so I'll trim all of those. That's a bad hand. This one's slightly better, it's not amazing, but keep it for now. Put back the clear water pathway. No! You know what? I'm kind of coming round to the idea of putting a Steel Cutter in a sacrifice deck. I can kind of see the appeal. Yeah, I mean, my graveyard's not that important, I suppose. Okay, well, start doing talent things. It's much less impressive when you don't have anything to pick it up again with. Okie dokie. So, well, yeah, I'll kill that. Can't really pick it up again, unfortunately. Because of the hearse. So I shall just chill, put Yorion in my hand. Feels bad. And an oven as well. It's all coming up for them, isn't it? He said without a hint of bitterness. Still going to kill that. I mean, I'll offer the trade with your hearse, because, you know, I don't mind that coming off the board. Cool. Oh no, they can make it bigger, can't they? Ugh, that was stupid. Well, that'll learn me. It's too early in the morning. Yeah, I deserve this. My draws haven't exactly been amazing either. It's the trouble when all of your cards are such low impact that without the engine, it gets very tough to do the thing. Take out the reflection at least. Have another 1-1. There. mean, I don't like that this is happening. And they can obviously just sack a creature to then kill my Yorion, but like that means they have to sack 2 things, which I'm kind of fine with. Yeah, I think that's not a good move. I think reflection copying yeah, reflection copying Mayhem Devil is a much better interaction for them there. I mean, I may as well level this up. I have no targets, but I'm not doing anything else. Yeah, I kind of need Momentum Breaker or I'm dead here. I mean, I'm pretty dead even if I draw a Momentum Breaker, but... yeah, that's not going to do it. Ooh, those draws were rough. I mean, I made a silly mistake with the hearse, but that is a lot of land. Oh, well, never mind. No blue mana, but this hand is probably good enough. And an early Elvish Mystic, huh? Well, let's have a look in their hand, because if I can take a Kiora or something, I definitely am. Oath of Nissa. Huh. Is that a better target than Cavalier? I mean, Cavalier is going to cause us more problems in the long run, but this, if I take... they could just go and find something else, so yeah, I'll take the Oath of Nissa. Okay, that's pretty good. So I can take down their Elvish Mystic here, which I think is probably good enough, because because if I don't, they could then cast this into Cavalier, which I'm really not about, so let's not have that happen. I'm not about that either. Jesus, their top decks have been good.
Won't mind if I take my octopus for a walk?
Oh my god, stop it! What is this? What have you has somebody hacked the system? Has somebody... blip! I hate it. Stop it. So I could take out both the cards from their hand and play Legion's Landing. Well, I think that's fine. I mean, I suppose I don't have to play Hopeless Nightmare, but then what am I going to do instead? Pick up... yeah, I think I prefer this. Just cut down on their mana a little. Land? Land one time? No targets for this town. I mean, yeah, I think what I'm going to have to try and do here is, like, ambush their Outcaster with Sunpearl and pick up, like, Momentum Breaker or something. I mean, it's a pretty obvious read that I've got something at instant speed because I'm not putting Yorion in my hand, but... oh god, no, it's a Cavalier, isn't it? Stop it, please go away.
Nature flows with vigor.
Not really sure what I'm supposed to do against an opponent who top decks like this. Okay, they bit, which is good. Pick up the Momentum Breaker. Trade with the Outcast. Still can't bloomin' play any of these blue cards. It's not looking good. Well, I'll play the Momentum Breaker again. Pass the turn. They've got 4 cards in their hand. And another one.
One drop.
Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Please stop. Please stop whatever it is you're doing. No, okay. Yeah, that was annoying, not being able to cast these spells, but as I say, this version of the deck is quite taxing on the mana base, so you do have to bear that in mind. Actually, does this deck even sideboard particularly well against what they're doing? Don't know that it does. Because the Meat Hook Massacre is a longer term answer. So I think we're just kind of relying on our main deck here. The Rest in Peace isn't great, neither is Lauren. Beza, no. Dovin's Veto, no. I think we are all in on trying to win with our main deck. Maybe this isn't a very good matchup. I mean, the opponent's top decks were bonkers there, but yeah, this hand's kind of there, but we can slow down the opponent long enough. Non-land permanents in graveyards and libraries can't enter the battlefield. Players can't cast. Okay. I wish they wouldn't. I'll pick both of these up. Yeah, Storm Chaser's Talent's a pretty good draw, so I'll get that down. And Legion's Landing. This at least is setting us up for a good nowhere to run. Mystic, sure thing. Invasion of Ixalan is also a sure thing. Land, yeah, that makes sense. So they're looking to kind of basically do probably Outcast into Cavalier in the same turn, which they now have the mana to do, but do you know what? We'll learn to live with it. Right, let's send in the attackers. That'll transform our Legion's Landing. I could pick up this town ain't big enough. I think that's fine. Let's do that. Yep. So they add the green mana. That lets them cast Cavalier. Yeah. So I'll kill that in response so they don't get the card off it. And like, we absolutely need a momentum breaker. Well, that's not a momentum breaker. Suppose I've got double... Nowhere to run Blink. Right, I'll take that Storm the Festival, because ain't no way I'm putting up with that. So I could bounce the Cavalier, but obviously they get a trigger off that. So I could have bounced the two Nowheres this turn, but I think that getting rid of that Storm was actually better, so let's just pop Yorin in our hand. No attacks, pass the turn. Okay. That's fine. That is also fine. Okay, so they're kind of out of things to do. They can't cast this. So I think my plan is to blink, just blink all of these and pass. I think that's good. We'll kill the Cavalier. That does give them an extra land, but I mean, the Cavalier I suppose isn't doing very much. I could just kill their two Mystics. What have they got in their graveyard? Yeah, do you know what? I might do that. At some point, maybe. Because this reduces them to 4 devotion, so they're not anywhere close to flashing back their Storm the Festival. Just going to activate their Lair of the Hydra. No, they're not. They're just going to add 4 green mana and stop. Right, okay. So I've got 7 mana. So I could start... I'm at the point now where I could potentially... Can I kill the opponent? So if I bounce Cavalier... Probably not, but I'm kind of at the point where I'm close to being able to do that. I think it's worth going for. Game. Did everyone else see that, or is it just me? Right. Do you know what? I think I would have won that game, because I'd have bounced Cavalier, probably got in for like 12 or something, then they could have replayed it and I'd have bounced it again. Yeah, I think I was pretty on course to win that game, and then it would have been into game 3, but Arena had a breakdown instead, so yeah, that's a shame. I'm going to put that one as a draw. So it was 2, 1, and 1. And yeah, that was weird. Hope that doesn't happen again. But let's have a look at the deck one more time, now that I've composed myself from whatever that was. And yeah, no, so again, it's the it's the classic. I mean, Sunpearl Kirin is a good addition. It adds some extra kind of bounce abilities, and when this deck kind of gets its engine going, it's really powerful. It's got quite a low floor, because, like, as you saw in that Rakdos sacrifice game, sometimes you're just durdling with nothing to do. And the 3 colours does put a strain on the mana base. A couple of times we were a little short of the colours that we needed. Often blue, I think, is the one that's kind of a bit less. Well, maybe not actually. It's a mix, but yeah, no, on the whole, I think that did pretty well. We'll never know how that mono green devotion game would have ended. Match rather, but never mind. So yeah, here's the deck list one more time. It's in the comments as usual, so let me know what you think. Thank you very much for watching. Hit those like and subscribe buttons. Always appreciate the support, as you know. And yeah, I'll see you next time.